Why were Jews told to kill and enslave people?
Mm.
I'll let you have it because you know more about this than I do.
You don't want to go?
I've got my idea, but you know, there was specific reason,
Yeah.
and I think you probably explain this a lot better than I can,
Okay.
with your background and knowledge. I mean, it's just
Well, let's go back to the Tower of Babel. At the Tower of Babel, when God dispersed the nations, and yes, the answer goes back all the way there because, you know, the Bible itself ties the, well, we'll see when we get there. But the Tower of Babel, when God dispersed the nations across the universe, or across the world, I should say, universe, we haven't gotten there yet. Maybe Elon Musk will make it happen. But as far as the dispersion across the globe, when he did that, Psalms 82, Deuteronomy 32, verse 8, First Enoch, they say that God appointed these archangels over each nation with the idea that they would guard them, that they would lead them step by step into a righteous culture, into righteous living, and um, bring them back into a right relationship with God. But we see, especially in Psalm 82 and Enoch, First Enoch, that most of the all but one archangel actually was corrupted, and they declared themselves gods and taught people to do witchcraft and incest and war and everything that you can think of that caused societal rot and humanity's downfall. And especially Psalm 82 is very clear on how God judged these angels and what their punishment will be. But because of that, the same problems arose as in before the flood. And in that atmosphere, God calls Abraham out and promises him this piece of land that is called the land of Canaan, named after the Canaanites and um, all these people, like the Amorites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, the Amalekites, and he promises their land to him, and then, but he says not yet. He says you're gonna die at a ripe old age, and your descendants are gonna go and live in a land that's not theirs, and they're gonna prosper, but they're gonna be made slaves, and then in the fourth generation, I'm going to bring them out and bring them back into the in this land that I'm promising you. Um, and he gives Abraham a specific reason why this is going to be like this. He says it's because that their iniquity is not yet complete, and that's a interesting saying. And but it also demonstrates again. We've already mentioned 2 Peter 3:9. God is patient, does not wish anyone to perish. Um, but yeah, God is not willing to give up on all those ites, all those nations yet. When Abraham was alive, they were idolaters, but they had not fully devolved into this evil culture yet. They weren't completely depraved yet. Um, uh, Later on, they start human sacrifice, burning children to uh, pagan gods like Molech. Uh, they institute temple prostitution, incest, bestiality, etc. You name it. And it is only after they have reached the depth of depravity is when God brings Israel back and into the land and commands them to um, kill indiscriminately in certain towns, not every city, especially the Amorites, um, and kill them, destroy everything, including animals and every material thing that they owned. And you might ask, how is this justified? Again, the same thing as with Noah's flood. Um, were there innocent children, mentally handicapped people that no one could try in a court of law? Yes. Unfortunately, they had to suffer with the rest of the culture. But um, God's justice demands measure for measure, um, a life for a life. So, I mean, if you're asking about justice, then let me flip the question on you. If God allowed the children, the women that were forced into prostitution, all the people, innocent people that the Amorites killed in human sacrifice, um, all the slaves that they took, don't those people deserve justice? God's justice demands a life for life for the murdered children, for the rape victims, for the victims of incest. And when I say rape victims, I mean animals and humans, humans and animals. Um, the women that were forced into prostitution, they deserve justice, and it's a life for a life. For the neighboring nations that they terrorized, and for the victims of slavery, they all deserve justice, and God demands the justice for them. The and look, just because God used Israel to administer justice to these people doesn't mean that Israel was immune, because we see time and again throughout history when Israel turned its back on God, when Israel um, sunk deep into the same depravity in places and at times, God judged Israel also, and he used other nations against Israel also. Um, the Assyrian exile, the Assyrians were especially nasty. The Babylonians, after the Babylonians, there were the Persians and the Medes. After them came the Greeks. After them came the Romans. After them came the Arabs. After them came the Ottoman Turks. After them came the Arabs again. Today, whenever Israel messes up, whenever Israel sins horribly, earlier you asked me about the Holocaust. I don't have an answer for Holocaust. Not, what were Jews doing so bad, or the gypsies, or the uh, mentally handicapped, what were they doing so bad? You know what? I just think that they were targeted. I mean, the gypsies, I don't know why. But if I have to say anything about Israel, they were targeted. Jesus said that you will not see me again until you cry out, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. If Israel doesn't exist in its homeland as a nation, there's no one to call out, Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Because it has to be Israel, because the Messiah is the king of Israel. So just like the devil instigated the murder of innocent baby boys in Egypt and in Bethlehem, a couple millennia ago, I chalk the Holocaust up to another attempt of Satan to prevent the Messiah from coming. He tried preventing him the first time, and he's trying to prevent him the second time, and he fails. And today, I mean, still the Hamas terrorists and the Hezbollah terrorists, the Iranian terrorist entity known as the IRGC, the Islamic Revolution Guard Corps, the official branch of the Iranian government, the Houthis in Yemen. Why are they trying to destroy Israel? You know, they would say one or the other reason, they would make up excuses, but behind the scene, the spiritual reason is, let's prevent the Messiah from coming back. That's Satan's agenda. But I mean, that's a different issue I just brought up because we were talking about it earlier, and um but yeah, Israel is not immune either, for its sins. When it sins, royally, um, they are faced with invasion, they are faced with exile, they are faced with humiliation and death and slavery and um, and why is this such? Because God created mankind to be His image on earth, His hands and feet on earth. So most of the time, God does not use supernatural means to bring judgment. You know, the fact that we can count on two fingers the flood and Sodom and Gomorrah, um, is a testament to the fact that pre- you know, God prefers to use humans, um, prefers to work through humans who are aligned with His purposes, um, to bring justice on earth. In the previous episode we recorded today, Genesis chapter 9, we saw that one of the seven commandments that God gave, as they were elucidated by the rabbis, um, in the covenant that God makes with Noah and through him with all of humanity, is to establish courts of justice. Time and again, Israel is warned, and God rails against Israel for neglecting justice for the widow, the orphan, the needy, the poor, and the stranger. It's His first foremost concern. Um, so yeah, because of that, when one group of people commit these treacherous actions, He uses another group of people to bring judgment upon them, because that's what humans were made for, to create a palace of justice, let's just call it. And another thing that we saw today is that human blood was to be avenged by human blood, or human hands. Um, and that's meant, part the majority reason is to serve justice, but the other reason is to deter injustice, to prevent, to show people how disgusting and depraved these things are. That's